Forgot how we're doing this. Welcome everybody to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I am Dr. Cush. Book in front of me. We got a book. We got a whole book in front of us. We are going to be diving headfirst into Martin Cate's beautiful tome of beautiful cocktails. We're gonna be making a cocktail called the Expedition. We're gonna be making that cocktail. A lot of ingredients. I've never had this one before, so I figured now's a good time. It seems like it could be tricky. Seems like it could be an iffy cocktail, but it's in Martin Cate's book, so what are we gonna do? So stick around with me while we make a cocktail called the Expedition. And now, watch this. Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. All right, welcome everybody. Let's talk about this one. Let's say hi to the people. I feel like it's good to let's just say hi to the people, and then we'll go from there. Let me say a quick good evening. Shawnee Panabaker, good to see you there. Shawnee P, voting day. I got out and voted. Seems like I was up to some nefariousness. I did have 2 voting stickers. Turns out you can just get a second one. If you really want a second voting sticker, you can just get one. I was out there voting today. Love voting. One of my very favorite. Just if you give me an opinion on something, I will have that. I would like to write that opinion down and shove it into a computer. That's what I do most of the time while I'm here. So happy birthday, happy day, just a regular old day. Happy day to Tiki Bonbon, winner of the 2025 Cush Tucky Derby. Here we got Moose. I'm looking into it. I think I may have done something to change all of your names. So I'm going to see if I can't unchange your names. I'm not guaranteeing that I did something, but seems more likely than not that it was me. So we're going to see if we can't get your names back here. DC Debbie Clark, winner of the 2023 Cush Tucky Derby. We got 2 of the 4 winners here. Can we get the rest of them to cross the finish line and show up here at Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks? Let's see. I said hello to Shawnee. Here's Kyle Tender with a tiki. Nailed that one. Look at me with my sound effects. Chris Salmon is here. Cheers to you, Chris Salmon. I imagine that Amy is somewhere right around there. Or maybe you guys would, do different things. I do different things. Jen and I don't do everything together. Most of it, though. Let's see what else we got here. We have, this is a few of you talking a lot. Tiki Court is here. Cheers to you, Tiki Court. Always a pleasure, as we say, never a chore. Paul Bell Amaro is here. Cheers and happy Tiki Tuesday to you as well there, pal. Dougie G in the place to be is ready. Cocktail Lulu also right here. Dougie G is already giving this a thumbs up, says this is a great cocktail. Pretty excited. Pretty darn excited. We'll be using some nice whiskey in it too. Probably I'll get some notes. Don't use good whiskey in this. I'm done. Done listening to that garbage. Putting good whiskey into cocktails. Happy full moon to you as well, Roger G. Timmy Wallace, thanks, buddy. Always a pleasure, man. Timmy Wallace over there watching us on Instagram. If you want, Tim, hop on over to YouTube. That's where the party is. It's like an addendum party. Here's Street PI. Cush caught your zombie episode on my TV. Just YouTube replay. Enjoy the show. Thanks, buddy. Zombies. Yeah, zombies always a good cocktail. Hard to defeat a zombie. As we've seen, they've never done a show where they keep making these shows with zombies. So clearly, we have not defeated the zombies. There's still zombies out there. let's get into it. We're going to be making a cocktail called the Expedition. This is it seems as though this is a Martin Cade original. At least it came from one of his bars. From his, I think he just has the one that's fully under his name. Kind of an interesting little concept. And I love a good concept for a drink. Is there just that just sticking out there? Let me just fix this. Seems like a really kind of I like a good concept, a conceptual drink. Hey, each of these ingredients means a little something different. And if it comes together and works out, that's great. If not, hey, the ingredients were the friends we made along the way. So we're going to be making that one. I am going to be trying something kind of interesting tonight. I'm going to be blending. I'm going to be using my Hamilton spinner, but not with crushy ice. They said throw some cubes, throw some like big agitator cubes into your cocktail. Spin that up. So that's what we're going to be doing. A lot of firsts for us tonight. So let's grab one of these. I can't find my big one, my big guy that goes with my Hamilton, the Beachmaster. So let's use this. Right there. We're going to start off with this one. Apparently, the lime. Some of this. Listen, I've done this. I've created cocktails for different people, and I've explained to them exactly how all of this works. Oh, darn. Hey, Kyle, oh, there it is. Never mind. Big and red. I got it. Never mind. I've created cocktails for people. You explain each and every ingredient. If you want to see a good example of that, you can go watch my friend Joel. That one hair is going to drive me crazy. We're going half full. My friend Joel was on this show a little while ago. He had a part in a show called Stranger Things. Stranger Things. He was on Stranger Things. And so I brought him on, and I made him a zombie-type cocktail, and I explained how each single ingredient makes its way into the cocktail. I thought it was fairly clever. Did I fudge them? Yeah, I fudged it a little bit. We're always fudging a little bit. It's a better story than it is a truth. Anyway, apparently this cocktail, the Expedition, is all about Don the Beachcomber and his little life, how he expedited, how he experienced, eventually expired, but I think in between he was going on an expedition. He expeditioned. He was expeditioning all over the world, and eventually he landed in California. I guess we got good limes here in California, so gonna love that. So we're gonna go ahead and throw in some lime juice here. Bling. We need a full ounce of lime juice. That's not a typical amount of lime juice that you see. Normally you see lime juice coming in 3/4 of an ounce. Sometimes you see it in half an ounce. Sometimes, a full 3/4 of lime juice. Or sorry, a full ounce of lime juice seems a lot, but take this into consideration, all right? Sit down for a second. There's a lot of spice and a lot of sweet going into this cocktail. So a full ounce is gonna be the thing that offsets this whole thing. So we're gonna take our lime, we're gonna squeeze it by hand like our good friend Constante Rivielago Vert. And normally we drop these in. Bloop. Shawnee Panabaker asking all the right questions. Are you out of pseudo juice? No, Shawnee Panabaker. I am out of the will to make pseudo juice currently. We'll get back into pseudo juice soon. I have old Doc hasn't been able to hang his hat for a little while, so we will get back into pseudo juice. But for right now, we are wasting all of our money on real limes because Tito's not producing them either. He's got to get it. Listen, if I'm going to work, he's got to work. That's the new rule in this house. That's right. We're gonna go ahead and put in the juice of 1 full lime. That should give us about an ounce. I know normally when we're making somebody else's cocktails, it's important that we stick to it exactly because we don't want to give anybody a bad judgment because we put too much in there. So it's not the case today. We're just gonna squeeze about a full lime's worth of juice in here. Hopefully it gives us about 1 ounce. If we need to fix it a little bit later, we will. We'll be just fine. There we go. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. There we go. Okay. We're going to spice this up. It's not Tito's fault. Whose fault is it then? Kyle, you can stand up for the tree. What are you, the Lorax? Kyle speaks for the trees now? No, thank you, Kyle. No, thank you. Let's find our cinnamon syrup. It's right here. While we're down here, we'll grab our honey syrup. It calls for 3 different syrups. All right, it calls for 3 Very different syrups. One of those syrups I don't have. I'd never blame Tito Crowd. Well, what are we all turning against? What now? Who are the bad guys in the Lorax? I haven't read that book for a while. We're gonna go ahead and throw in two different syrups, and we're gonna flavor one of them. For home bartenders specifically, I think often having too many syrups is a weird crutch. It's wasteful. There's no way unless you are. There's a great old sketch. I don't know how politically correct it is anymore. Great old sketch from these guys called The Kids in the Hall. And Dave played he was called a girl drink drunk. And basically he was a wild alcoholic, but he only drank big fruity drinks. Now I like big fruity drinks. Does it make me a girl? No, but we're not going to get into that. Anyway, unless you are somebody that is constantly making big sugar-forward drinks all the time, and you're making them in all different varieties, I don't think that vanilla syrup is something that we all just need to have at all points. How come? Well, because we can instead find this. This is homemade vanilla extract. Super, super simple to make. Get some well overproof vodka, or find some Everclear. Find something that is incredibly boozy that will never, ever, 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 ever go bad, and put some vanilla beans in it. Let it sit for a little bit. You have a really like fresh flavor of vanilla. It is preserved. Plus, it's got booze in it already, so it doesn't hurt many people. And you can just add it to the drink instead of making a whole other syrup that is sugar that is going to go bad eventually. It's a little Cush's opinion. I do have a doctorate in this. Go ahead and we're going to put in half of an ounce of some 2-to-1 cinnamon syrup. We're going to keep that little cinnamon stick in there if we can. Excellent. 2-to-1 cinnamon syrup, and we're just going to make it a cinnamon vanilla syrup. So this is a pretty hefty stuff. Just a few drops of this, maybe like a full dash of that right there. Just homemade vanilla. Again, if the cocktail's horrible and we got to go back to it, and I have to apologize to Martin Cate for ruining his cocktail, I will. Martin Cate is making cocktails for hundreds of people every night. That would kill me. It would be too much for old Dr. Cush. We're also going to be putting in some honey syrup. This is 2. Still good. We're going to get rid of this honey syrup right now, though, because it almost exploded. We want to put in half an ounce of some runny honey syrup. 2-to-1. That's how you want your honey syrup to be. Right there. 2 parts honey, 1 part water. That's how we want to do it. And then we're going to get rid of that. That is right at the edge. Okay. Next. Oh, honey. We'll keep with the whole story. In the story, basically, eventually, what's his name? Don made it to California. Honey, I guess California does honey. A lot of this seems a little suspect. But the cinnamon, all those spices, all of that stuff, that came from his trip through the Caribbean. So finding things like cinnamon, finding things like vanilla, that's where he was finding all of that stuff. And thus, it didn't sound great. I agree with you, Dougie G. Didn't sound great. It wasn't bad. It didn't sound great, though. So that's where we're getting all this cinnamon stuff. That's part of the expedition that we're on. Now, we are going to go to the birthplace of Don. Somewhat controversial. Some people think that definitely he was born in Florida. Some people think definitely born in Louisiana. Some people think definitely born in Texas. Who knows? We don't know. But we're going to just go with it that he was born in Louisiana. So we're heading to the south, and we're going to find a bottle of whiskey right up here. This is a bottle of Heaven's Door, a lovely bourbon, straight bourbon, pretty good. No curves in this one. Bourbon, of course, 51% corn. This one's a little higher. I should have looked it up before. I don't remember the exact number, but we're going to go ahead and put in 1 full ounce, please, of some bourbon. Bourbon is interesting. Bourbon sort of goes back and forth in what it does to cocktails. Bourbon, as far as whiskey cocktails, bourbon is going to be one of your sweeter options, right? 51% corn at least, so you're going to get a lot of that big corn syrup in there. That is what bourbon will do to a lot of whiskey cocktails. So if you find a straight up whiskey cocktail, you add bourbon versus rye, you're gonna have a sweeter thing. In this, however, we are going to have our bourbon sort of dry us out because corn that has been distilled is going to be a little less sweet than sugar that has been distilled. They gave us a lot of options on which rum we could use for this, so I'll be using Stephanie Husband's bottle here, right there. This is a bit of Caruba. It's a Jamaican dark rum blend. Has anybody ever had their name on a whiskey bottle at Dr. Cush's? I don't think anybody's ever chosen a whiskey bottle. Dr. Cush doesn't use a lot of whiskey. I drink enough whiskey. I just don't use a lot of whiskey. We're going to go ahead and put in 2 full ounces of some Caruba, some dark Jamaican rum. There we go. Obviously, that rum is also coming from Don's time while he was traveling the Caribbean, probably hanging out near Jamaica at some point. Okay. This is where I feel like, and I think that Martin Cate is a really good guy. I feel like this is where he brings up the horse pucky a little bit. I think that he was trying for something, but then decided, hey, we should put some coffee in this as well. This is the story of how the coffee makes it into this cocktail, right? So Don used to work with these dudes. They were called the Four Boys. So there's one of them right here. This is Ray Boohan. There was Maradona Lucidine was another one of them. Apparently, Maradona Lucidine was stolen just in the night. Grabbed him in a bag, took him down to Florida, and made him. They said, you listen here, Mariano Lucidine. You're going to open up this bar called the Mai Kai. All right? You're going to do it. I don't know how forceful it was, but that's a better story than, you know, he just left and went to go do this thing. Anyway, he created a cocktail down there called the Black Magic. The Black Magic has some coffee in it. That is how this got into it. I feel like you could say that about just about any drink. You know, there was coffee in a drink one time, so we're going to put coffee in this drink this time. I don't know. I think it's middle. But we're going to go ahead and use Mr. Black Coffee. There are lots and lots of really good coffee liqueurs. Let me preface that by saying there are also lots and lots of bad coffee liqueurs. What we're looking for in here, according to the man himself, Martin Cate, we're looking for one that tastes like coffee. Well, I happen to have one that tastes like coffee, and that is Mr. Black. A lot of coffee liqueurs end up tasting very much like liqueurs and not as much like coffee. This one is a very coffee forward. So we're going to go ahead and put in, forgot already. I think it's half an ounce. I don't want to screw up his drink. What do we got? 144? 140? I'm at 103. Should have marked it. This is what the show is. This is what the show is. 140. Oh, the Expedition, right there. Quarter ounce. That doesn't seem like enough. All right. Quarter of an ounce. Let's mark it. There we go. Marked. Not a lot then. Not a lot then. A quarter ounce. I suppose what we're doing here, if we're breaking down how a cocktail gets built, we are spicing this with the coffee. We're using that as the bitter aspect of what would normally go into a cocktail. So we're going to just eyeball a quarter ounce. I don't have a quarter ounce in this one. 1/4 ounce right there. Grab our Mr. Black. Seeing some fans of Mr. Black in the chat. The Mr. Black certainly has its place. There are other good, less coffee flavored ones. Yeah, page 140. There you go. Cocktail Lulu got her book out. I remembered mostly. Okay, now, not a shaken cocktail. Not a shaken cocktail. This is a Hamilton Beached cocktail. So let's get our Hamilton Beach little cocktail mixer out. Get everything off of it. There we go. You're coming with me, pal. This is Hamilton Beach. This is our little beach mixer. Do a little close up. Look at that. Hello, buddy. Who's that handsome guy? Little beach mixer. We have our little Hamilton Beach mixer attachment. What we don't have is the right cup. So do you think this will fit? Oh, that'll fit. Brilliant. Really smart, Hamilton Beach guys, that you made it fit regular old mixers or regular old shakers. Really, really smart. It calls for 4 agitator cubes. I got these little cube rejects. These used to be clear ice. They have either melted or they weren't the right. They weren't clear enough. I think 3 is going to be fine. I think my cubes are a little bigger than his. Okay, let's give this a little spin. Here we go. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. Oh, there we go. I'm going to bring in, oh, did that one just die? It sounds like, oh no, it's good. Okay, show you what's going on in here so you guys can get a real good look. The ice isn't really moving. The ice didn't really do anything. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Keith? Did I already say hi to Keith? What's up, Keith? I think I saw Avery come in too. What's up, Avery? Keith and Avery both allowed behind the bar. So is Bum Bum. Tiki Go-Go. My goodness. Okay. I'll be very honest with you. I don't have high hopes for how well that does for blending. Now, I don't know whether agitator cubes means something different to Martin Kate than it does to me. For me, being an old school, like a dark under the ground bartender, like a mole, basically a mole bartender, agitator cubes were just large cubes that you put in to shake. The Hamilton Beachmaster didn't seem, or Drinkmaster, the Hamilton Beach Drinkmaster didn't really seem to blend a lot of our ice in there. Maybe the bottom one's got it. Do some surgery real quick. Oh, well, it's certainly, well, look at that. That's clearly where the little Drinkmaster thing was going. I guess we're going to count it. I guess that's it. I guess that's what we got to do. Throw this right in here. Calls for being poured into a tiki glass. Now, in the book, on page 140, technically on page 141, I'll show you. Look at this. Calls for this tiki mug right there. That says the expedition. Calls for this tiki mug. Pretty close. I mean, pretty close. Cousins, almost. Although I'll be honest, I look nothing like any of my cousins. My cousins all have red hair. Weird. Okay. We're gonna fill this guy up with some crushy ice. Lots and lots of crushy ice. Espen wants to know, Cush, what's the biggest difference between this machine and a handheld milk frother. I don't know, to be honest with you. I say the biggest difference that I can just see is that on a milk frother, normally this little thing is much skinnier, maybe less power. Maybe a milk frother. You know what? Let's go with that. Milk frother has less power. I think the milk frother is not meant to to be pushing ice around. Yeah, Shawnee P says power. Yeah. This right here. Lots and lots of ice. What do we know about tiki drinks? That they don't fit in tiki mugs. that is a universal truth about making tiki drinks, is that they do not fit in tiki mugs. They're always too small. Okay, we froth that up. Let's see how that works. We'll go ahead and pour. Let's do this the right way. You need to put in 2 full ounces of some soda water. I got some ruby red tangerine. I think probably Martin didn't want flavored stuff in here, but Martin does not have my sense of taste. He's probably got a better sense of taste. I don't like regular old soda water. Boring. Go ahead and fill this guy up. Not even close. Not even close. I love the tiki mug aesthetic. I think they look cool. I don't know what it is about them. They're just, to me, they're neat. But they don't fit any cocktail. I filled this cocktail to the brim, to the very top with ice, leaving very little room for liquid. And what happens? Can't even see the liquid. All the way, it's probably right here. Tiki mugs are for looking at. Regular cups are for drinking out of. That's my hot take as a tiki bartender. Tiki mugs, don't do it. I guess it goes pretty high up. Oh, whatever. Okay. I have Mr. Black. It's a coffee liqueur. A very less sweetened version than the others. That's what I used. Hey, using the same thing. Cocktail Lulu has, which you have Pahu? Do you have Pahu, or do you have the one from Strongwater? Not Strongwater. Smugglers Cove. 2 S's. It's too much. There we go. That is the drink. The expedition, starting in Dawn's native Louisiana. We start with some bourbon. We leave there. We pick up our rum and our spices from the islands of the Caribbean. We continue to go around the earth. We land back in California, where we find things like honey and lime. And then, in the end, we go back to New Orleans and Florida, I guess, for the coffee. Let's see how we did. Yeah. Tiki mug equals make the drink a double. Yes. You have the yellow label. Oh, sorry. You guys have that conversation by yourself. It's very nice. You worry quickly when you see 3 different types of syrup and only 1 type of citrus. That makes you start to think, what are we doing here? Are we just playing games, or are we making drinks? If you go, let me go looking for them. You find the honey. It's there. The cinnamon is there. I probably could have used a little bit more vanilla. Probably could have done 2 big dashes of that vanilla extract. The homemade vanilla extract. Probably could have done that, a little bit more vanilla, but I think that you're getting a lot of that sort of just mixing into the coffee, which is fun. Was the bourbon completely necessary? Yeah, honestly, drinks are fun. Drinks are fun when you do them like this. If you think about an ingredient, you know what that taste bud is. You sort of ready your taste buds for battle. You throw them in to the war. and they'll usually bring you back some heads. I definitely the bourbon is there. Let's find the rum. Rum is there. The coffee is so nice and subtle. A 1/4 ounce is plenty. I know I poo-pooed that earlier. I didn't mean to poo-poo you, Mr. Kate. I did not mean to poo-poo you, but you, unfortunately, earlier in the show, you were poo-pooed. It's there. It's nice. It gives the same vibes as adding a little bit extra Angostura bitters. It's just there to sort of hang out with its friends. You know, it brought a gift, so it gets to hang. Cinnamon's in there, vanilla's in there, obviously lime's in there. I'll be honest with you. We could have probably brought the lime back a touch. Nah, just a touch. Just maybe don't do a full. Maybe don't squeeze a whole lime in there. That might be my fault. So we're not going to even judge the lime on this one. That was most likely my laziness that got us there. Yeah, really nice. Certainly tropical. Certainly a tiki drink. We're gonna have to call it. Yeah. This Roger and I share the exact same opinion. There are too many 20+ ounce tiki mugs. They are really nice. They look very cool. They fill up all your space. You got some space you got to fill up. You got too much space in your life. Get some tiki mugs. Fill it up. However, I have to agree. Where are all the small tiki mugs? There are a few great ones. There are really. I believe this is a kind of a smaller tiki mug. That guy right there. Look at that. It's a great size. A great size for a tiki mug. This might be too big. Might be too big. You know what you could do? Can I make a suggestion to all the tiki mug makers in the world? In here, there are a lot of like crevasses. Let's see if we can bring this in here. Let's see if I can show you a crevasse or two. Right here, like where his eyes are, they poke out. Maybe instead of making them crevasses, let's go back here. Maybe instead of making them crevasses, maybe you just make it like solid all the way through and then put the rest of it. I know that's going to cost you a little bit more in materials, but how much is clay? It's just dirt, right? Isn't that the whole thing? Maybe just do that. And then we'll have tiki mugs that work for tiki drinks. I don't always want a double tiki drink. Sometimes I just want one. And I want to have another one, but a different one. Sometimes that's what I want. And then I feel like a wimp because I'm not filling my glass up to the top. Oh, the cracks are showing. All right, that's what I got for you guys. We'll be back here Thursday. We're going to be back here Thursday. We may have an awkward schedule over the weekend. So be prepared for a possible Friday show. It could get a little hairy there. Also, there is a chance, I haven't heard back from him yet, but there's a chance I have been invited to go on my This Is My Bourbon podcast on Thursday. Now, when would that be? I'll tell you. It would start at 4 p.m. and it would go until 6 p.m. Now, that's a 2-hour podcast. I might be exhausted. However, if I am on there, I will make an announcement through YouTube or Instagram or however you guys are following me. You can watch there. And then I will immediately go live here because it should end right at 6. So we may start. If you're not watching This Is My Bourbon podcast, then you won't know exactly when I'm done. But I will do 2.5 hours of live. Half hour for me, 2 hours for This Is My Bourbon podcast. That is that's the goal on Thursday. Again, I haven't heard back from him again, so I don't know whether or not that's it. I think the mug makers conspire with the bottle brush makers, which I have to yes, to clean the crevasse. There's far too many crevasses in all these tiki mugs. I don't think it's the mug's fault. I think it's the crevasse's fault, and maybe the bottle brush makers. Maybe Big Bottle Brush is all upon us. I want to wish a very happy birthday to my stepmother. I don't think she's watching. I don't think she ever watches, but very happy birthday to Robin. It is your birthday, in case you were forgetting. Yeah, Double Zombie would be a great way to get around Dawn's 2. Let's be fair, 2 per customer. 2 per customer. We wouldn't ever limit you to one. Maybe you would. I don't know. What am I, dumb? Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. We'll be back here on Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks.
Bye-bye.
Oh, dang. That's not the one I wanted to hit. Let's find a fun one.
Are you guys going trick-or-treating?
We'll find out the answer to that question soon. And then...
Today's secret word is... How about pretty please?
Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please.
And then we're going to find out.
Are you Dr. Jinga Janga?
And then we will say to you guys, we'll see you on Thursday.
Bye.
Bye.